Okay.
Do you like
I
it?
like it. So tell me why. Tell me why, and then I'll.
I want you to tell me why you like
No,
it.
what the hell? That's not how this works. You said it first.
Enfeeble is great against Medusa.
Attack speed, right? What is it again?
Attack damage.
Oh. Okay. Oh, 60% maxed out. So is that the bigger reason why?
Yes, pretty much. Like, whenever I pick a Bane against a solo core, it's kind of like the support way of going Doom. You know, T1 always like to pick Doom against these, like, you know, a Terrorblade or a Medusa draft. Well, Bane's the way to do it from the support role.
Team ban.
Okay, so the reason I like Medusa is that you don't care about Rupture. You're more than happy to stand your ground. You've got a lot of ways to catch the backline. That's what Medusa really lacks. You've got Night Stalker, Ember to jump these pesky heroes that you can't get on top of. I think you're a great way to prevent a Lycan from sieging. Maybe there might be, if Dusa has a rougher game, then there might be a bit of a window, 2 to 3 minutes where Boom can take objectives before the Medusa can be the person on the front line. And I've seen this Pango Dusa matchup go back and forth. I'm in favor of Dusa just because of the Stone Gaze can heavily disrupt how you can utilize the Rolling Thunder in a fight. Like, you've got to play completely away from the Medusa, but the Disarm is still great versus her. Nonetheless, she's a hero that, of course, heavily relies on right clicks, so Disarm can come into play. That's why I think Medusa is incredibly solid here. And in your dream, previous patch played this at an exceptional rate through the last Pro Series. So I'm intrigued to see how it's going to fare. They're looking for... I mean, they're banning out...
This is going to be a mid-Pango, honestly. Like, I feel like mid-Pango isn't the worst. You're going to get a lot of stats. And he could even maybe go into like a Diffusal Aghanim Scepter build just to be able to try and get through a lot of Medusa's mana super early on into the fight. Same sort of thing with the Ember Spirit, right? Like, if you don't have mana, you can't continuously make plays.
Yeah, that could be a really cool pickup for Raj. They banned out some of the tougher matchups for the Ember, the Batrider, Conquer. Is there anything else that could stand out that could be difficult for the Ember in the lane?
I mean, the Storm's still there, but I feel like that's not what you want. You know, you're against the Night Stalker. The way to be... I agree in the fact that it is a good Medusa game if the Bane wasn't there. Okay. You know, like, there's nothing that a Pango can really do about it. There's nothing that a Lycan can do. You've got decent save, I suppose, and most of the time Galaxy Racer, they're going to look to be the ones... Well, it depends, right? Like, Lycan is going to be running into you. Bloodseeker wants to get aggressive. Bane is a pretty early-ish game hero. But then again, Night Stalker, Rubik, Ember Spirit, you can pick off anyone in the game with just that roaming trio so far. So I think we're going to see a lot of early clashes. You know, obviously making a bit more space for the Medusa.
Surely,
is this a mid-Yopaj
surely it's not. Do you... How's CTM's Earth Spirit?
Honestly, I haven't seen it play that much.
Yeah.
Playhards is good, but that's remaining. Unless they're playing a position 5, which I highly doubt.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, Boom could...
Right, let me... So what is this? This is a Palos Lycan, a mid-Earth Spirit, a FBZ Bloodseeker, a CTM Earth Spirit, and a Play Hard Bane, is what I think, is what Boom are going for here.
What do you think Galaxy Racer are looking for, though? Is this going to be a Night Stalker 5? Because they banned out the Tide and also the Brew.
Oh, Stalker 5. I don't know. I feel like this this Night Stalker is still exactly what you want to be able to go in onto the backlines. Like, sure, you're not going to be able to set up onto the Lycan in time.
Choose your
They're just
hero.
going for an Elder Titan, so maybe trying to stall out the duration of the Rolling Thunder, so you're not getting the same level of effectiveness. Was I right with it all? No, FBZ's playing the Lycan. All right. CTM Bane. All right. Position 4 Bane coming through.
Hey, position 2 Earth Spirit. Let's go. Yopaj Earth Spirit. Wait, didn't they get... Did he still have the damage talent? Or did they get rid of that?
I think he does.
That which is.
Yeah, no, they got rid of it. Yeah, no, they got rid of it.
Oh, okay. Magnetized duration instead. Not the... What was it, 30 or 50 damage?
60, I think.
Oh, it was 60.
Yeah, I was. Maybe not 60. It was a lot. It was a lot of damage, if I remember correctly. But how we liking this? Boom have a very early active run over you lineup like we saw previously from SMG. They're on the timer. For Galaxy Racer, they've got this win condition. You've got the late game prowess of the Medusa. Do they have ways to get to that stage? Can they stop the onslaught of Boom, or do you feel like they can take game one here?
Oh man, I just don't think Paulson is going to have a game at all. Like, yeah, the amount of if he's able to get off Echo Stomps in the middle of these team fights, I'm going to be stunned because he's got a Lycan that's going to be chasing after him. He's got a Pango that's going to be rolling through on top of his head, and you've got an Earth Spirit that's probably going to either have him silenced or slowed or something else along those lines. So I feel like the fact that this has been a last pick Elder Titan isn't going to really change much for the team. Like, was Wyvern in the pool? I feel like it wouldn't have been a bad Wyvern game.
I'm pretty sure it was in the pool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the pool. But nonetheless, this is what they're running with here for the boys on Galaxy Racer. So you feel like this last pick ET is not enough, and you're a fan of Boom's lineup?
I just want to see how this Bane works, man. I'll be honest.
Yeah, position for Bane. CTM.
Actually, it might be 5. Like, I know CTM, it is pubs. He's, even when he was like playing his role for Neon a few months ago, he was always wanting to be position 5 and then as soon as he got in there and the carry didn't do what he liked, he would just berate them over and over again and just saying like, you got to do this, you got to do this, and they're like, well, holy hell, man, you play the position 1 then. He's like, no, I want to play 5. So this is something that he's wanted to do for quite a while. I'd heard that he was playing a lot of position 4, but I guess he's playing the 5. It makes a lot more sense playing the Bane as that because you don't scale anywhere nearly as well as a Pango. I'm keen to see how it works.
Keen to see. Again, I mean, Boom currently sitting in 2nd position, and for Galaxy Racer, this is their 2nd series. They currently tied 1-1 versus Dreammaker, so we'll see if they're able to kind of further their standing here in the Pro Series Season 8, but shouldn't be too hot of a contestation here.
I get 3? No, 2 for 2. I always like seeing like how like what tags are next to a lot of the players' names, right? Like Yopaj and CTM, they did not hesitate to cut the cord with Neon. Like they're already gone, whereas Palas, he's still got the execration next to his name. Playhard doesn't have any. I think, who was it last game? Someone had a really odd tag next to their name.
Yeah, all the roster swaps we've had through Southeast Asia. But actually, are there any lanes that we should keep our eyes out here for First Blood? Anything that you feel like is going to be a rougher matchup between the two teams? Or bottom lane might be. There you go. I mean, I said in the draft, the Bane setup for the Blood Right is a cool combo and definitely come into play here.
Well, and that's what happens when you go this style where Mizu clearly doesn't want to be the one caught in that. So he was off pulling the wave away as much as possible. Look at that cheeky play coming through from CTM, wanting to make sure that it gets dragged into the hard camp. Mizu's still going to do his best to pull it away, but the work's been done.
Is under attack.
I'm really intrigued on how this mid matchup's able to fare with the bow spirits. Again, it's, you know, we don't really see too many position 2 spirits at the moment. Do you feel like this hero, you could be revitalized a little bit with his flexibility, or, you know, how is it going to play in general versus the Ember though?
Honestly, I have no clue, but if there's anyone that's going to understand the limitations of the Earth Spirit, especially against an Ember Spirit, within the Southeast Asian region, I would put Yopaj up there with the likes of Alacrity on his Ember Spirit play. So he knows the big counters and what he needs to do to try and shut it down.
In regards to, we always see Spirit Heroes are ones that are very mobile, active as the game goes on, so feels like it won't be any different between these two position 2s. They'll probably look to get really, really active by the level 6s, might even be enabled by some rotations to the middle lane.
Or if he is going to get like a value point into the Enfeeble on CTM, maybe at level 4, just so that when the Rubik Night Stalker combo looks to try and potentially go for kills at that 5-minute mark, he's going to be able to significantly reduce the damage. It's a real value point just with one skill into it. Can you imagine if they pop it onto the Elder Titan? Just the cast speed reduction as well. 30% slower cast time on the Echo Star.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to see, because Enfeeble's always been like the...
Yes. That should help.
The one that's the ability that's... Yeah, the one that's not as loved here. And, you know, it's been changed pretty consistently. People have attempted to see how they can, you know, play with it, some cuter, you know, strats, but it's never really worked out too much. So I wonder if this could be one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, though, it does look like the lanes are, you know, looking solid at the moment. Still the early kill for Boom down bot. And maybe they can find another setup. It is, of course, the daytime, so, you know, Mizu is... The Night Stalker, it always feels like that first 5 minutes is definitely one of his weakest stages.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to see if there's any kind of rotations. Of course, super early on, the Ember Spirit doesn't have the way to escape ganks like an Earth Spirit does. You know, at least you've still got the role at that point. He's a strength hero. He's got one of the best strength gains in the entire game. So he's always going to be very tanky and hard to take down. But, well, with a rotation like this from Yokam, if you do use the role super early on, you can be a little bit vulnerable. He's able to take away the water rune from him, though.
Just put in...
Top side, like you can see here, Boss, and yeah, putting in the business up against FBZ, dealing with those wolves. Obviously, they've got a lot of magic resistance on them, 70% magic resist, but does not matter when you're whacking them with a briefcase. Or the Thanos Gauntlet with this particular cosmetic.
Oh, is this the... Which ones you got on? Ah, yes, okay.
The Vice of Creation. Vice? Vise.
Radiant are scanning.
Looks like having a pretty decent lane at the moment for In Your Dream. 22 last hits. Fifth lane.
Yes.
Both the spirits are getting pretty much everything they want out of it. Yopaj level 5. Alacrity just hitting the level 6.
He's just taking a wave a little bit faster, that's all. But Yopaj, he's hit up onto his level 6. He's going to roll all the way back. That's one thing that an Earth Spirit can do, is look to, you know, get back really quickly. But it's against the siege creep wave, so you can see Alacrity pops the Flame Guard. He wants to make sure that this is pushing out as quickly as possible. Good timing on the fortification to make sure that he can get back to the lane in time before the siege creep is there.
Alright, here we go. First rotation. Beautiful board, though. Scouting it out. But In Your Dream still...
Is it fast enough rotation?
It looks like it might be. They've got no extra reinforcements, and In Your Dream will just slowly be brought down. Polison's looking for some retribution before he dies, but it's still nonetheless going to be 2 kills here for Boom, so... That ward, I thought, might have been enough to keep the Medusa alive, but because of the creepy equilibrium, Boom still find a double.
Is under attack.
It's one of those instances where, as a support, you go like, man, what's the point of me warding if you're not actually going to pay attention to the information that it provides? It happens, though. There's like 50 different things that In Your Dream had to be mindful of at that point. But good first rotation coming out from Yopaj, and honestly a little surprised that the tower didn't end up taking more damage than it did as a result of that rotation. Like, that was the siege creep wave.
Well, successful first rotation from Boom. We see Alacrity. He's gone maxed out Slight, no points in chains with the Orb of Corrosion build, so a lot of synergy coming through with his itemization along with his skill build, so looking to really play around with a consistent physical damage. But it is nighttime. How do you want to see Galaxy Racer really utilize his first nighttime? Is it Mizu looking to make rotations, or the team to come to him?
Well, sorry, we'll get to that after the second gank attempt up on this top side again. Yopaj able to get all the way up here, completely drain him out of mana. He's going to be there to play a little bit more defensively, and honestly, you're somewhat happy with this if you're Yopaj, right? Like, sure, Alacrity gets a kill,
Wait.
but it means that he can't be looking to get aggressive.
not. In your dream, they don't find him. If Z popped his ultimate to try and attempt the kill, he might still get polished on out of it. It's taking a lot of use here of the shapeshift now. He'll pop out, and as soon as he does, he'll explode. Alacrity's the target. He's got a decent amount of one charges to play with. Alacrity knows the limit on the hero. He'll dodge the roll. Doesn't have any extra reinforcements now, and Yopaj can continue the tick with the magnetize. Yes, you sidestep, but it looks like the Earth Spirit will win the battle between the brothers.
Able to just get away as well. Yeah, talking about knowing the limitations, but unfortunately, even though he had the extra Fire Remnant available, just not having the mana needed to cast it.
And they're taking a bit of a stack.
This boom lineup as well.
Oh, Palos. Looks like they'll be penalized here for trying to take the stack at the hard camp.
Comes for you.
CTM might also be chased down. Mizu's got about half duration left of the ultimate, but Yokam doesn't really have as much mobility as what the Night Stalker does. Oh,
looking to go right back on in. Just missing on Yokam there. Actually looking a little bit vulnerable. Although the Nightmare providing that little bit of extra save.
Ah, man. Yopaj has got 4.4 strength gain. Already 1500 health. Imagine going through an Earth Spirit at 9 minutes into the game. You can kill the Bane. He doesn't have that survivability. Big issues is, though, is these long drawn out fights means that Palace, they're so weak. The Thirst is just looking to clean up, looking to answer in the name of blood. But he can't lock onto Alacrity, so he has to try and deal with Yokam, which he can chase him down with ease. Alacrity, though, doesn't have any more remnants, so they'll block off the retreat angle to the triangle. It's not going to make it that much more difficult for an escape route here from the Ember, and Palace is just going to give up, however.
Ends up backing off, I suppose, just not wanting to let too many creeps go by the wayside, but actually they're giving a lot over to CTM down here on the bottom side, so he's going to have a fairly early level 6 for himself. Maybe looking to give play hard over the tome, considering the amount of roaming that he's been doing.
Okay, well, overall though, I mean, In Your Dream is having a bit of a rougher going with those 2 deaths. They got a double stack for him at the Ancients, but nothing else.
Able to get away.
Dire's bottom tower
10-minute mark, it is Rune on the top side. It's a double damage, of course, why not? I mean, that's a good way to substitute the level 10 talent being taken away.
Very much so. He's, I think, is his Spirit Vessel completed? Doesn't have the. Oh, I see the rest. Yeah, after the one. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he's been able to get a lot of this done. Could you imagine if he had just a magic stick, even to be able to provide a little bit of extra sustain in these team fights? Because it feels like the only reason Yopaj is really stopping to fight is that he just runs out of mana.
Go goes. The name of the game for Boom. Catapult Wave, FBZ, Helm Dom, along with a Shapeshift. Who's Yopaj caught out? A kick back into the grasping hands of CTM. There's no escape from the Bane, and Polo, I mean, he'll just do whatever he can to slow down the push, but it's going to cost him his life.
Yeah, it's only going to do so much, and yeah, the push is going to continue. They're going to get a tier 1 tower, but this is the difference from what we saw last time. At least in the other lanes, Galaxy Racer, they're continuously trying to push it out, meaning that you can't just continue this all-out aggression. You know, you might still get the mid tower, but what's it going to cost you? Siege creeps hitting away on the bottom side, top side. It forced Palace to be able to go up there and try and defend. So they're getting stuff out of the map still on Galaxy Racer. It's just the question of, is it enough? Deuce is sitting 5th on net worth.
Yeah, it's...
Bottom
I mean, Radiant do have a bit of issues with getting pickoffs across the map. Maybe Alacrity can really be a thorn in their side as the game goes on. Fortunately for the... Okay, Yokam. He's got TP, so... See if he even looks to try and go for the Rubik's Cube TPR. He's going to continue following the Pangolier. There's still...
Cheeky little play there, lifting him into the path of his role, but again, that's the sort of thing that we were talking about. Very quick response there. It was a little obvious, sure, but just to be able to immediately steal the role for survivability in that fight. But if he retains it, it's a lot more teamfight effectiveness for the next one to come. And, you know, if you're able to lock down onto that Lycan, for example, it means that even with the shapeshift popped, unless you get a Rupture or a Fiend's Grip onto him, he's going to be a fairly big threat.
I mean, it's a 1,000 net worth lead for Boom. Do you feel like they're going to get to a stage soon where they can look to grow this lead? Are they waiting for any items or level timing shortly?
I mean, it's got to be the Helm of the Overlord, right? FBZ, he's had a very good start to the game, and he's only 600 gold away. Who are they going for?
CTM by the Roche Pit. I've got Alacrity converging on the back line. We're going to try and bypass any supports. We can deal with CTM. Yokam still got the Rubik's Cube in the arsenal. They're trying to avoid Yopaj. They'll clean off both supports successfully. Now a beautiful Echo Storm means that Yokam can just bounce back and forth, and they'll clean off Yopaj. They'll turn next to try and deal with FBZ, but he's soloing down In Your Dream at the moment. Still has the Stone Gaze to give himself some distance, so what was looking like a pretty solid fight for Galaxy Racer at the start still ends up being a 3-for-3, but poor old FBZ. The shapeshift's expired. He's going to attempt to TP up, but the chains is still on cooldown, so he'll be fortunate enough.
CCM there, looking to prioritize a bit more into the Nightmare. He didn't actually get off a single brain sap in that, so I thought maybe he might have been able to survive for a little bit longer, eventually get to the high ground, just wait it out for a few seconds, and then maybe get a Fiend's Grip to make the fight go even further in Boom's favor. But still, even though he got picked off for basically free at the start of that, he still has a decent impact. But now, no Dark Ascension, no Nighttime for a minute. They're looking to immediately go.
In Your Dream.
Catching Your Dream here.
It's the target. Really close to the tier 2 tower. Oh, Jesus, the damage! In Your Dream. He was full health, full mana, but he's still at the stage where he's just not survivable at all. I might get some retribution. Looks like once again, the supports are going to be the main objective here from Galaxy Racer to try and bring them back into this. The Stolen Nightmare will give them some space, but Alacrity has got no remnants and forced to stand his ground into the Rupture. They're still doing a decent job to trade, battle versus battle and blow versus blow, but they're unable to do so as Palos can just clean up.
They even get the Nightmare stolen in onto Palos, so could they be looking to set this up, or they're even going to get the Stone Gaze to guarantee that he gets locked down with all that extra physical damage coming in onto him? Is this a save coming through from Yopaj though?
I don't think it will be. Still, a lot of damage. Yopaj's got a lot of health to play with. He's also got now the numbers coming through as Playhard out of nowhere will show up, and FBZ with a Shapeshift 2 stack up another death for In Your Dream. He's up to 4 now on the tally. They might look for Mizu as well, as even though it's nighttime, but FBZ can just sniff him out, and there we go. There's this big timing as Boom looking to really transition this further into a lead.
Back towards the bottom side. I mean, I suppose it's nighttime. You want to try and eliminate Nightstalker off the map as much as possible. You know he doesn't have the TP available. But get the Nightmare onto him for a lot of this team fight. Actually, they're going to turn on him.
Okay, Galaxy Racer. Again, close to the T1 towers. The reinforcements are coming through. Alacrity. He's coming so clutchy in these fights, man. They just don't have the control to deal with him. You give him this hero, and he'll show off drastically. A double for the Ember. He'll be able to turn to kill off FBZ, and they're not done just yet. CTM, the next on the chopping board. 4 down. No one follows Misery.
Oh,
they even smoked to keep him alive, man. Galaxy Racer. What a fight.
And look at that, even the voice line pinpoint just what I needed coming through at the perfect moment. These players, they're quick on their feet. Ooh, I do like this from the Nightstalker as well. A lot of the time you see, the Echo Saber, all things like that. But if you're able to get that that big AoE on the Void, A, it's a good way to deal with a lot of the Lycan units. B, it's great for interrupting a ton of stuff that Boomer going to try and go for, right? You can interrupt an Earth Spirit roll super early, you can interrupt the wind-up for the Rolling Thunder, you can interrupt a Fiend's Grip. So it's all looking pretty good if he's able to pick that one up in pretty decent time.
Radiant though there, looking to really keep the pressure going. So they've got the minus armor, play hard. It's only 1 point in the lucky shot, but with the help of the Howl from FBZ, this row should fall at a pretty steady rate. And who do you want to give the Aegis to? Palos, more than likely?
Probably Palos. The other thing about the Bane that I forgot to mention when we're talking about his direct counter matchup to the Deucer, we saw there how much damage he took. And of course, that's because of the mana drain on top of things. You know, every half second, you're going to be draining 5% of Deuce's max mana.
Holy Sun.
Very nice way to counter up. Oh, might even be able to catch him here.
Oh no, they got Mizu and the Deucer. There's no way to cancel the ultimate. So in your dream, once again, another death for him. Mizu on the high ground. They might even look to turn it on Yorkam. It's a small wolf. Has he got the movement speed? He should still tick out to the Spirit Vessel, and they would have been so happy with just losing the ET there, but somehow, boom, catch up more heroes.
That's always been the great thing that Skem's able to do, right? Like, he always looks to go for the +1 in every single team fight, having the trust in his team that they're going to be able to get, you know, the easy cleanup onto the easy hero. But, you know, it's very rare in Dota these days, especially once you've already taken out the tier 1 tower and you're on the back foot, that you're going to just be completely away from the team fight.
Oh, Alacrity. Man, what a use of the Mant, the Illusion Rune, actually. So use the Nightmare on himself. Sans, is it going to be long enough to be able to get the chain control? Alacrity, just a remnant. And he's out of there, but still Yopaj looking to hunt on point. And that is a big kill to find. 3-time streak, and Alacrity's been the biggest issue for them so far on Boom.
I mean, this is a treat, just watching Yopaj and Alacrity going blow for blow every single time. You know, 17 kill involvements for Yopaj, 15 for Alacrity.
Perfect location.
Standing up there, but that's a good way to give vision.
Just this Bloodseeker answer to the Night Stalker. We've really seen the impact has been dwindled because of the counter pick, and the game just continuing to get difficult. I mean, you're really hoping for In Your Dream to get to a stage where he can be this big old raid boss win condition, but level 11 at the moment, and he just does not have the net worth.
Yeah, I mean, if you get farm and you're able to join fights and feel confident in your net worth, that's when the Deucer can have a pretty decent time in this game. But Boom, they've just kept their foot on the pedal. They've never allowed them to have any kind of breathing room, and a lot of that is on Yopaj. You know, it just doesn't feel like he's been at any point after like the 5-minute mark, honestly. Like, that's when he made his first rotation towards the top side. Ever since then, he hasn't never been in a jungle hitting creeps. He's always been out there trying to make plays around the map.
Do you feel like, what do Boom need to itemize here? Do they look to try and deal with Alacrity? Do they try and deal with the win condition Deucer as the game goes on?
Well, I think they just need to continue doing what's been working for them. You know, it's a 7k net worth advantage. You've got now a BKB coming out for Yopaj as well. So, I mean, that's going to be incredibly effective against, you know, previously you might have to retreat a little bit when he's coming up against Polison or the Rubik, but no, you can just stick on them, take out the supports really quickly, and then a lot of Alacrity's effectiveness crumbles around that.
Gold for me.
Even Impalos is working on the Scott is his next item. They've still got ages for another minute 20 here. Haven't really seen a full-out push here from the side of Boom, but this might just be the time.
Yeah, I mean, why not? What neutral creeps he got?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's
Who are we looking at?
tower is under attack.
FBZ.
Yeah, I saw one. He's got the shovel. Jump in, Yopaj. Onto Mizu. They're going to be able to bring him down with ease and just play hard. A beautiful way to use the Rolling Thunder. Really just cut the potential reinforcements, force them back, you know, split that fight in half there, and that's just a kill into an objective, it seems like.
Palasaur is on point as well with instantly using the Blood Rage after any of his high effectiveness items, and even like just only skilling the 1 point into the Blood Ride as well. Obviously realizing how important it is for the silence setup, but you know, he's happy to go into stats if it means making Rubik's life a little bit harder in the rare instance that he's actually let him have it.
Yeah, we don't really see as many heroes, you know, go for like this stat-orientated build where they, you know, will keep a value point in something and then, you know, go for these early stats. It's been, you know, the Gyrocopter sometimes when he goes like the 0 builds in the rocket barrage and the one in the missile and then maxing out the flak. Even I've seen the Monkey King as well. Sometimes only put 1 point in primal and then going for
maybe
a lot
like
more
the
stats.
Jug, maybe a Luna.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, not too many other heroes. So it's cool to see it on a Bloodseeker. I feel like it's very much a matchup oriented decision though.
Yeah, I think as the stats, when people become a little bit more accustomed to this introduction, it's polished on. It should be an easy kill. I mean, he's making them work for it. It's giving them some time to at least kill off CTM, so they'll get something across the map, just kind of a consolation prize. But yeah, I mean, attributes of course been in the game for a long time previously to, you know, the recent edition of it, but you know, it's a completely different game with, you know, new heroes, new builds, so it might take time for people to see where it fits best.
And it's a pretty significant factor, the fact that they don't have the Dark Ascension. You know, the next time it's going to be up is when it's next nighttime, and well, they're just going to look to continue moving forward here on Boom. You know, like we talked about the things that are specifically good against the Deucer. She's had to go back, didn't end up going the Manta style, which means that the Enfeeble's going to be great against it, and you've even got the Spirit Vessel, right? It's based off of your current HP, the health that it's able to reduce. And Deucer, well, she doesn't lose any of her current HP as long as she's got that Mana Shield available, so it's just going to deal a ton of damage in every single one of these team fights. And at the moment, with no way to remove it off yourself.
It's going to be big issues right now. I mean, they're trying to funnel every little thing they can to In Your Dream, but his 5,000 gold behind his counterpart in the Bloodseeker. Their high ground defense is definitely solid for Galaxy Racer. It's not easy to puncture with a Fade Bolt, anything Yocam can steal. ET's always been an exceptional defender, even though Medusa doesn't have the greatest items. Ember too, just with the constant spam from afar. So Galaxy Racer, we'll see if they can play into that, but they're looking for power loss. Yocam, jump in, see if they can get the Stone Gaze connection. They can bring him down before the BKB. Yopaj, kick away. Is this enough? They bring him down. And now Yopaj has put himself in a costly position. He too will not make it. So Galaxy Racer, man, somehow always see this team have crafty ways to bring themselves back in games.
It's a lot of experience. Medusa was level 14 before that engagement, and with that, she's been able to pick up to level 15. Going to give himself a little bit of extra effectiveness, some survivability, bring up his next talent. I mean, it's been so rare that she's been able to just sit back and farm. So yeah, the Mystic Snake cooldown is what she's going to be prioritized.
And just honestly, more time. That's it. More time. Delay the game. Get In Your Dream the levels to farm. One of the components for the Ice Guardy completed. Just going to tank her up and maybe look to kite the heroes on Boom just that little bit more.
It's a little unfortunate that In Your Dream wasn't one of the ones to get either of those last hits. It was Mizu and Paulson that were able to pick it up, but yeah, they don't mind. They feel perhaps a little underappreciated at times, but Aghanim Scepter available on Mizu, and now it is that 25-minute mark, so they were able to hold off for the 2-minute period where they were feeling perhaps a little bit more vulnerable, and now is when you can look to go into the likes of a BKB. Honestly, do you even go the BKB on Mizu now? Right, because like Fiend's Grip goes through it, Rupture goes through it, so I'm not sure if you really care all that much.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Like, it's still annoying, of course, going up against an Earth Spirit and having a Pangolier rolling through you, and I guess even the Nightmare on top of that, but when you got two ultimates that just directly counter you, that's always going to be very frustrating.
And then Lincoln's is like, I mean, that item fill is super hit or miss right now. So I don't know if we see Lincoln's on the Night Stalker. Maybe Mizu could think about... I wonder, honestly. I mean, it's so cool the BKB on him. He might be in trouble. Aghanim is at least giving him some way to kind of keep up in farm. Yocam actually keep running through the lane. Polo... Okay, at least they'll catch out the Elder Titan, but this was a heavy commitment from Boom nonetheless down bottom. Wait, there's no way. Okay. Shit, I'm like, someone has to have an answer to that. But you just see, like, all the lanes. Mizu deals with mid, top's getting shoved in. So Dire are recognizing, like, it's just keep the lane shoved out for as long as possible, continue to make the space. I mean, we've harped on it a lot, but it's really what this game feels like.
And it's
Radiant's
like,
top tower is under attack.
there are going to be instances where you can't be shoving out multiple lanes at a time, and it's only then that Alacrity's going back to the jungle. Probably a little bit more priority given to it, considering that it is 27 minutes. So he was, I'm sure, hoping to get some kind of extra neutral items for his team for this next upcoming defense, but unfortunately they didn't luck out. And like I said before, they have no ways to get rid of the Spirit Vessel. It's forced Jokam in this position 4 role to have to go back for a Lotus Orb. Like, this is not something that Rubik wants to do. He's going to have to look to disassemble those arcane boots of his to try and look to build into it.
I guess it will be nice though for Dusa. Like if you Dusa, Night Stalker.
But when you think of like Rubik pause 4 items, Lotus Orb is not at the top of the list.
1000%, yeah. And maybe that's where, like, Mizu could... He's actually got the overwhelming blink queued up, okay? But, yeah, you're right. Like, it's something that Rubik is not really looking to transition into. Has to be a lot more utility here for Jokam, which, you know, Philosopher's Stone will enable that. So you already see he's got 2100 gold in the bank, and he's been having some solid steals so far from the Rubik. But, even though it's a 7,000 lead for Boom, do you feel like they should at least have a set of barracks taken already at this game?
Sorry, look how stupid this is. The Ancient Thunder just sitting on the top side. See you later, Jokam. I'm sorry, I'm sure you just wanted to, you know, scout out what they've got, prevent your creep wave from dying again. Well, Mizu, is he going to be in a little bit of trouble here? Might be forced to pop the Dark Ascension just to get away.
Radiant's bottom tower is
okay,
under
Mizu's
attack.
like, alright, I'll just go back, maybe kill off the next creep wave. He's even got the Quickening Charm, so lesser cooldown on the Dark Ascension. It's the courier.
Get the courier.
Okay.
Radiant's courier
Some easily I'll
has been
teleport.
killed.
Oh,
Radiant's courier
get another one?
has been
Yoink.
killed.
Some gold. You take that.
Still though, you're about to reach 30 minutes. You have
Dire's
Aegis,
bottom tower is
and
under
you're not
attack.
going to have Dark Ascension. So this is prime time for them to just group up and push.
structures
And
are
it's perfect
fortified.
timing as well. Dark Ascension, maybe he'll try and get one Void off right before the end of it, but that's all you got.
The siege does not get easy though. Like in your dream, it really needs that level 20, but Skadi completed. Apollo's going to be really cautious of how he plays. That's the target they want to bring down. He's so much of their high ground defense. They'll target through the Elder Titan. Deuce is the next on the chopping board here. They're draining the mana. The health is about to fall as well. Deuce gets no assistance as Mizu can't get in the fight because of the rupture. They know he's off to the eastern side. They're going to kick him away, just trying to get the full synergy out. Now that it's daytime, Mizu, it's the Thunder Eye that's looking to chase him down. Palos now, all the thirst stacking up. I'll clean off the Night Stalker and Polo Sun. Oh, nice actual play from Jokam. So the Bloodseeker is exceptionally deep here. Looks like he'll get some distance, however.
Dire's bottom barracks.
Ooh.
Just continuing to go in. I mean, now the fact that you can go into that rolling boulder distance, it can be a little bit disorienting for someone that was always so used against a mid-earth spirit to have that extra damage, but
Dire's middle
still going to be a
has
good
fallen.
amount of tower pressure being put onto you. Still not going to be any kind of Dark Ascension. Might be forced to buy back here on the Night Stalker in about 10 seconds.
Oh, Polo again. They continue to recognize the importance of the Elder Titan. Kick back further away for the defense of the tier 4 towers. Alacrity's trying to do whatever he can. They have a way to be able to go through the BKB, so the Bane will fall. They've dealt with the Aegis. Meanwhile, off to the northern side. Again, another nightmare to set up for the Stone Gaze, but Palos, nice use of the micro here from the Lycan, can reset out. They still turn to stone, but it's enough time wasted and a better position for Palos to be turned. Now they're actually just back on top of the Medusa, man. Medusa! Just again getting ripped apart. Palos is doing so much damage with the Arcanum Shard that maybe they've overplayed their welcome. It's deep behind the tier 4 tower. Palos can't get down to the low ground. The buyback's coming into play. They've also stolen the blood right. He's such a difficult person to go through though. Even though the BKB is on cooldown. He's got the assistance of 2 heroes nearby, and Galaxy Racer, they just can't get anything more out of it.
They're just slowly winning. Death by 1,000 cuts at the moment, and you know, everything that they've seemed to do is working for them. Palos, he was able to just stand his ground the entire time, got full value out of the Aegis, the Immortal. Might be able to catch Jokam, but ends up flicking away. He had to pick up that plate mail just to be able to have any kind of sustain in the middle of that team fight, but
Dyer's top tower
it's
has
probably not going to be
fallen.
enough.
Dyer's
I mean,
top barracks
dude,
are under
Aghanim
attack.
Shard on Bloodseeker is an incredible ability. Pure damage, percent as well as CTM. Again, the target. Alacrity's going to be so careful. I try and do a decent amount of damage, cutting up the fight, but this is just mega creeps. FBZ, he doesn't care about the heroes, going to turn to deal with the objectives. So they've got mega creeps on the table now, in your dream. Looking to try and punish them for their positioning as FBZ might just sacrifice his life. He's going to try and run into Yo Camp, but wow, they can't even kill him, so it looks like it's just Bane. But still, is it even Bane? CTM is able to keep the life
as well.
And now a long roll in from Yopaj will try and target back, kick back Mizu from the defense of the higher ground, and that's the gem as well that's going to be dropped on the deck.
Buyback.
No buyback here, 70 seconds. Now in your dream. It's not the hero they want to try and bring down. They'll just target the secondary support. For Galaxy Racer, they did an exceptional job to stem out the bleeding, but in the end, the Bloodseeker will always find the blood, and so will Boom.
Radiant victory.
See, I told you it wasn't a good Deuce again.
Yeah, you did.
But a lot of that, like, it wasn't on the Bane. Like, I feel CTM, he was in good position, you know, like I mentioned before in that key team fight around the mid lane. He always looks for the extra, the +1. And, you know, just going for this build with the Bane, despite being in that position 5, going the Aether Lens, not needing to, you know, a little bit more defensively because he was enabled so much by the constant pressure that Yopaj was putting out onto the map, with FBZ obviously being there in tandem with him. It just meant that he could be looking to make these cheeky sorts of plays. Aether Lens set up for those long-range nightmares, and then it was very easy for them to just converge in onto the heroes after they've taken them out one by one. So very solid, convincing performance coming through from Boom in their first game of the night.
Yeah, it really was here. I mean, we just saw how they're able to play. I think it just wasn't the opening Galaxy race we were looking for. I mean, all in all, I mean, in your dream, 1, 8, and 5. It has to be props given, though. Alacrity had an exceptional performance. We see time and time again. I mean, his Ember is just a stellar hero on, you know, in his hands. He went 12, 3, and 9, but unfortunately just wasn't enough.
Done.
How much damage did he do?
His damage did 45,000, and the next closest was 30 on Palas's Bloodseeker. And that's a how many towers did they take? I feel like they took 2 towers, and they were still able to get that much done.
Yeah,
this man is crazy on his Ember Spirit.
Yeah, Alacrity, I mean, he did all he could. All he could. Galaxy Racer recognized you just have to prolong the game as long as possible. Hope the Medusa can get to the stage where she can be the win condition that we so often see, but just wasn't the game to be. As Boom recognized, just run them over completely. Just have these items, you go for this full out push strategy, and it gets to the stage where it's too much to handle. You know, they deal with the supports, then from there, the cores, and from them, when you don't have the numbers advantage, you can't take the team fights. And for Boom, a beautiful game 1 performance. We'll see if the momentum can continue on into the second game.